it's Romy here. Thank you so much for tuning in for your December 2020 soul story. So if you have a Pisces sun rising or moon, then this reading may well resonate for you. It is a general, but as you continue to move through the energies of December, hopefully the insights will give you more and more resonance. And I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started and see what's going to come up for you. Okay, Pisces, we're taking a look at December's soul story for you. As of the end of November, Neptune is moving direct, and that forward motion in your natural planetary ruler is really going to unleash your imagination through this month of December. It's going to be an energy that is very accelerated. The ascension and awakening that is taking place is very, very powerful. And what we open up your reading with for December is the card of the Hierophant. I love this because I think that the wisdom that you're going to be tapping into, that's going to really support you in some of the things that you have to deal with, what you're going to be facing, and also just to understand the ways in which you have, irrevocably changed, transformed, and grown throughout the course of 2020 is really profound. We can see this beautiful staircase here, and it really is talking about the way in which you are ascending into a different type of energy. I love when we look at the body language of the depiction of the Hierophant here. He's sat in this beautiful relaxed pose, and he's actually laughing because there's some sort of understanding that's coming to you through this month of December that really in some ways I think is going to free you up, It's almost like you just let yourself off the hook for something. You just become aware that perhaps some form of limiting thought form that you've had, or a way that you've held yourself back, is now kind of dissipating, or perhaps you're realizing that what you thought was really important really doesn't matter at this point anymore. And so there's almost this sense of December being a month where you're going to be your own miracle, Pisces. That's what I really feel. And I think part of that is this understanding that sometimes, what you have to give isn't able to match what someone else needs from you. And at the same time, what you need isn't always able to be supported and offered by others. And I think that recognition and that understanding almost takes the pressure away of you needing someone to validate or to step forward or to deliver something in order for you to feel like you're okay. We have some powerful astrological activity taking place in December. We begin with that new moon in Sagittarius, which is a solar eclipse, and activating that 10th house energy for you. So very much focused in and around your work and your career, your legacy. Certainly could be an interesting time for some of you as you are relating to father figures, to bosses, to husbands, to authority figures. Perhaps when you're seeing things coming to light, or you're having the opportunity to communicate in new ways. We're also seeing Chiron, that wounded healer planet, moving direct in the sign of Aries on the 15th of the month. And perhaps where there has been areas where you've really been struggling, that there is this sense of almost coming to terms with something so that you can release it. It's interesting, once a love is generated, whether it be for a person, a lover, a passion, something that we've invested in, that love that's generated from within us, it never dies, and that energy is something that can either be fueled to ignite the fire within us and be directed in any which way we need it to help us move forward, or it can sit like this really kind of heavy, stagnant energy if the object of that love has somehow changed or been lost or removed from our life. And I suppose there's a little bit of a nod with this Five of Pentacles energy coming in, that the reflection on that is something that you're also going to be thinking about and considering as you look back on the course of what this year has delivered, and perhaps some of the ways in which things have come and gone out of your life and how that energy has affected you. But understand that where you have been able to generate that beautiful divine love energy, it remains as pure as when you first allowed it to be expressed. It's just that now there may be different places that it is needed, So I want you to understand that any darkness is really an invitation for you to create your own light at this moment, to be your own miracle right now. Now, for many of us, with the current circumstances. You may have some ebb and flow and flux in terms of what's going on from a fiscal perspective for you. And yet there's this moment where I feel a reprioritization leads you to understand that actually you're far richer than you ever anticipated or expected to be at this point. Now, maybe that isn't for all of you reflected in the bank balance, but it's certainly being indicated in the energy of this reading by you understanding that actually, money is just an energy. And when you feel really abundant and secure emotionally from within, then that has to step into to be mirrored in your physical reality. And, it's an interesting time in December because as we see Saturn leaving Capricorn, moving into Aquarius on the 17th, followed by Jupiter on the 19th. A far more harmonious place for Jupiter to be, where it really wants to expand and take us forward. You're going to have a lot of coexisting emotions. You may well be feeling a lot of anxiety, restlessness at the same time as feeling really excited. There may well be a sense of something being disappointing or, feeling defeated, and at the same time feeling incredibly optimistic and hopeful, So these things are going to be kind of running and coexisting alongside one another in December, and where you choose to orientate yourself is going to be incredibly important. Now, there may well be some things connected into the family environment, home environment that are going on. Perhaps some of you not able to spend the time that you want to with the people that really matter to you. And yet again, just be reminded with the energy of this Hierophant coming in, showing you where you can really gain the wisdom and the gift of what has transpired through the course of this year, so that you don't sit in an energy of feeling like you're being punished. This is not something where you need to feel the restrictive aspect of it. You are inherently free. Now, we are moving toward an incredibly historic date in the month of December, on the 21st, as the Sun enters Capricorn, as we in the Northern Hemisphere welcome that winter solstice. But we also see Jupiter conjunct Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, first time in over 600 years, and it will herald the next 200 years us seeing this aspect in air signs. At the same time, Juno and Pallas Athena, these beautiful divine feminine principles, are coming in to help us to rebalance the masculine and feminine. So that's something that you're going to be working on within you. But, make no mistake, the historic aspect of this powerful, potent energy is the end of an era. It's the beginning of a new earth. It's the beginning of a new time. You will see things powerfully changing. It's going to feel a little chaotic and frenzied. Perhaps very weird and wonderful things are going to take place, things that you could have never imagined. And that's strong to say in a year where we've already witnessed so much taking place. So, none of us really coming out of December without being powerfully affected and changed by the energy. And the difference is not only are you seeing what's happening external, but you're going to feel very, very different within yourself, Pisces. And here's your invitation, what do you now know better? And what's the highest expression that you can find in this very moment? Because the King of Swords sits elevated atop this mountain, bringing in that energy of Aquarius, bringing in the energy of Gemini, of which we are working with in terms of the North Node. And you had that the lunar eclipse on the 30th of November. So pay attention as to how that was impacting and affecting you. But that mercurial energy wanting to come in, wanting to help you to transform and change your thought forms, look at new strategies and ideas. There's an incredible source of wisdom and learning that's being offered to you with these two energies. Now, you may well have an air sign or even a Taurus that you're dealing with the Hierophant coming in. If this is the case, we have a little bit of a detached vibe going on here, okay? So it may be that you're feeling like you need a little space, or perhaps the connection, the other energy feels a little bit at a distance or disconnected from you. If this is your experience, understand that there are other things that Spirit are bringing front and center stage for you to work on and understand within yourself through this month of December that are absolutely critical in terms of what comes next for you. So everything at the moment is really being divinely orchestrated. The other thing that I want to say is, you mustn't really expect somebody to understand how to fulfill your needs if you've not expressed them properly. And I think there's also this invitation at the moment for you Pisces to consider the way in which you have communicated what it is that you need. And this can come in all relationships, not just romantically, I mean professionally, I mean with family members, with friendships. It's like, are you really asking for what you want? Are you really delivering and demonstrating to people the ways in which you need to be supported, how you need to be loved, how you need to be assisted at this time to help you be your best self, to help you commit and deliver on the things that you need to do right now? I think that this is really important. So here we've got the King of Cups coming through as well, now bringing in that water element. What I'm going to say is that already what we're seeing is very strong divine masculine energies coming through, which is really beautiful. So perhaps it's a recognition as we work through Sagittarius season in that 10th house, and that you are being invited to reflect and consider of the ways in which you respond to that divine masculine energy. Perhaps where you have been working on some wounds in that area, whether it be directly in relationships within the self, or perhaps within the family environment, but something coming to you that's really profound, because these are real guru energies, and they're inviting you to be your own guru through this month of December. You need to be able to observe what's going on around you through this month, which is going to be really crazy, and not absorb it to the degree that you feel like you are in a pinball machine and getting moved from pillar to post. This is a time when you can, just like the King of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Hierophant here, choose to sit in a place of peace. Choose to be centered and grounded and be secure within who you are, and understand that even if some of your own personal experiences are not reflecting what it is that you want to achieve or what you see for yourself at this moment in time, that actually you're reaching a point of culmination. The 10 is coming in to say we're reaching that time of something coming to a point of completion, okay? And what you've learned through the energy of this 5 of Pentacles, is about how you actually find that key to unlock this door to be able to move through into, a new pathway. So incredibly important time in terms of just finding and sort of discovering a shift that's going to take place within you. And I do really feel that you are going to feel very, very differently about yourself, the way you perceive yourself, and that's going to impact on some major decisions that I think you're going to be making through the course of December and early into the new year. Because what we want to do is leave behind some of the aspects of energies that have held us back and have kind of limited us in being able to really step in incredibly powerfully to our own greatness. Now, of course, through the month of December, there's this moment where we really reflect on those who we wished were still by our side. Maybe they have passed over, maybe we're just at a distance from them, and there is this sense of grief, and grief can coexist at the same time as a sense of relief, and sometimes that can be kind of difficult to deal with, because there's almost maybe a sense of guilt attached to that. It's kind of like, I miss this person, or I miss this aspect of my life so much, and yet at the same time I feel freer, or I feel able to direct my energy in different ways. And so understand that it is a complex time as we move through this final month of the year. And even when you may feel like there's this desire to want to sort of hibernate and sort of, go within and sort of pull back, some of the energies are coursing so powerfully and sort of moving at such a pace that they're driving you towards the exploration of sort of putting new plans into motion and kind of starting to think about, what the next year is going to hold for you, where you want to be, what you want to achieve for yourself. And so again, it just kind of feels like it's almost slightly strange experience going on within the body. You may be having that solar plexus and sacral energy just churned up and really creative, and your imagination going wild, and at the same time your body just feeling like it wants to rest. So just be kind and move moment to moment as to what you really need at that time. But the Fool is saying that once we reach this point of completion, it is time to let go of so much of what has held you back, or felt like it was things that you were dragging, behind you for a very, very long time. And it is through your own wisdom, it's through your own understanding that you're coming to that sense of enlightenment, and that's really, really powerful, So as we move toward that sort of end of December, we've got some beautiful trines with Uranus with the Sun and Mercury, and it's affording like these really unexpected sweet surprises, and it's almost the opportunity to lock something in as we approach that full moon in Cancer. Now that full moon in Cancer on the 30th of this month, very nurturing energy with which to close out this year, activates that 5th house for you. So, you know, your creativity, the energy of romance, of children, and so something really beautiful coming in to kind of support you in that way, or to demonstrate or to validate something for you. And we have the Chariot energy coming forth with the Fool. Again, just a nod to saying, even if you have felt a little bit stuck in one area of your life, you know, there's this energy building through the month of December that's going to let you feel enlivened and hopeful about plans that you're going to start to put in place and how you're going to move forward. Now, there is a kind of chaotic vibe with this Chariot, a feeling of, you know, perhaps not feeling quite in control of a situation. And I think that's where it's really important to kind of tap into particularly what this King of Cups, King of Swords, the essence of their energy is trying to help you with and support you with this month, Pisces. It's about, you know, when everyone around you is losing their cool, how do you keep yours, you know? And it's about understanding that you have that level of control, even if you've never fully exercised it before, even if you've never really been able to harness your thought forms in that way. There's something about what lands in the month of December that is elevating your energy and your vibration to a new place where you can really start to discover that you are far more powerful, and that this time of conscious co-creation is going to be unlike anything that you've ever experienced before. So, you know, new plans and adventures afoot, and even plans to travel toward that end of December, early part of January, feel like something's opening up for you quite nicely. Now, if some of you have got some disappointing or difficult experiences in relation to perhaps these as energies, you know, maybe it, you know, is air or water signs, and perhaps even, you know, discussions in and around commitment with that Hierophant coming through, understand that nothing is yet set in stone. Energies are moving and changing powerfully, and you know, we're all just trying to make the best of each moment, and find ourselves and find our centre in it. And so I would also just say to you, don't be too quick to judge. Don't be too quick to judge like what someone's sort of perspective is, because I think you might be surprised at the way something changes or turns. You know, the Knight of Swords here again with the Chariot, I mean, there's just this sense of urgency that's coming in with your reading a little bit as well, Pisces. Now, that may be translated in the sense of you just feeling this desire and drive to get going, get moving, get something initiated, started. There is fast change that's going to come, okay? For some of you, that may already have started to happen with the eclipse energies. You know, let's face it, with the eclipse and this very historic conjunction happening, you know, there is this, everything can turn on a dime, you know, things can get very disrupted, and, you know, very unexpected, surprising events can take place, okay? So it's almost like not attaching oneself to any specific outcome is really important, particularly through the month of December. Understanding that you are going to be coexisting alongside all of these different types of energies is going to help you to find that state of balance and inner peace within yourself, and that is going to be incredibly important just for your well-being, you know. Now, the Knight of Swords is moving purposefully towards this bike, which really represents a vehicle for change, okay? So in some instances, what I'm also picking up, Pisces, is that I think somebody who perhaps you have been looking at, longing for a change in them, wanting to see some kind of shift in the energy, you may well start to be aware of that process happening. Now, everybody's at a different level within their own journey, but it certainly indicates to me that their desire to want to kind of move themselves forward and to progress with their life is happening, but it feels a little bit chaotic. So is it in a timing perspective the right time to kind of jump in and be a part of that journey. I think what you're really being told is to kind of hang back, to observe, and to just watch something play out and unfold, so that you can then make a more measured response that feels more in alignment with where you're supposed to be moving forward. Not to say that this isn't something that, you know, you can move forward with, and I'm not just talking from a romantic perspective. This might be incredibly important in terms of people that you are connected with in some other way in your life as well. The Knight of Swords for me as well in this instance is also talking about messages, and we can see he's got the bow and arrow on his back here, and it reminds me of this Sagittarian energy that we're working with at the start of December. And there is something about being straight shooting, and I'm just going to go back to this moment where I talked about, you know, how can you expect somebody to fulfill your needs if you're not saying what it is that you're looking for? You know, not everyone is a mind reader, and, you know, you need to be really aware of what you are projecting or what your body language is saying in relation to your words, or perhaps you're feeling that from someone else. So, you know, clear thinking and communication, really, really important, and it could save you an awful lot of confusion or you know, upset if you just get straight to the heart of the matter. Remembering, of course, that, you know, in this instance, you know, you're the one that can come at things from a place of empowerment. You know, you don't have to put yourself in a place where you're feeling that you have to wait for someone or something to get moving before you feel like you are free again. It's not the case, you know. Don't be limited or bound by the energies of these fives, because all they're doing is they're demonstrating your emotions. They're giving you an indication of something that's active in your vibrational energy, and you can shift that and you can learn from it. And if you learn and respond to it in a new way, then it's going to start to dissipate and clear out. And what it's going to leave you with is this sense of a fresh new energy coming in to take the space of that. So let's take a look and see how your oracle cards are reflecting this main reading for you. Voice. Okay, the message is you are here to be known, so speak and be seen. I guess it's just what we've just said, isn't it, really? That through this month of December, there's something extraordinarily important about you saying what's on your mind and in your heart, you know. And she's holding this instrument, and it's almost like it's part of the new energy that's coming in, you know, the way that we're going to be working with light and sound as we move into this 5D. It's almost like you are getting to know yourself in this new portal of energy that you are stepping into. And that is going to require from you a stepping up and accountability and a fearlessness to say, you know what, even if I say what I need to say because it's my truth, I don't have to justify it. I just need to accept it myself. And if you do, and if you wholeheartedly accept it, then the right circumstances, people and events will come in to mirror that confidence, that courage, that sense of sovereign energy that you need to be demonstrating for yourself, okay? Also bodes incredibly well for those of you from a work and professional capacity, because obviously we're working with that 10th house energy in Sagittarius and 11th house when we move into Capricorn. Using technology, launching things, getting your voice out there by way of technology, by way of, you know, sharing your experience, sharing your stories, sharing your services. You know, professionally, things can actually give you opportunities that you never thought possible, regardless of circumstances that you might find yourself in. You may well see that this is the month to really pivot very strongly if a particular industry or something you've been doing or working in is slowing down or feeling more limited. Then it's bringing in, remember, Neptune direct, this beautiful sense of like your imagination being unleashed, and with that a lighter expression and artistic feeling to what is possible for you. And that's really where I want you to be at, because it is going to impact on relationships and how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself, and how others perceive you moving forward. Okay, so here we have the card of Earth. and this beautiful energy that's going to give you that sense of grounding. I love this. It's rich, nutrient, earth energy. There's an abundance here, and you can see it almost looks like a portal with the energy kind of swirling around her. But look at her expression here. It looks completely serene, just like the King of Cups, and just like that lightness of the Hierophant coming in here as well. But there's also focus. There's focus with the King of Swords and with the voice. So, you know, getting that right balance between feeling really at ease within yourself, but also to be drawing towards you new opportunities, and really embracing and harnessing that level of abundance that's available to you is going to be something that's going to ground your energies through this month, which is important because of the way that everything is going to feel like a little bit frenzied and chaotic. So this is a general reading for the month of December, Pisces. If you'd like to join me for the extended version, I would love to connect with you and share an additional 20 minutes or so where we'll go into a little bit more detail about what has come up in this session. Now, I'd invite you to just think about a question that I might not have answered through the course of this main general reading. We'll pull a couple of cards and then we'll go into that in the main extended version for you. So just put a focus on that now for me. Great. So now I'm just going to pull some cards for this main spread. You can find the link for the extended version in the description box underneath. So just bringing in the Hierophant, we have the Nine of Wands, this energy of perseverance, really important as you approach a breakthrough. Beautiful Ace of Wands coming in. Got all that fire energy here, Eight of Wands, lovely. Information, messages, communication, things building and making its way towards you. Knight of Cups here. Another water sign perhaps, or again just showing us that vision quest that's unfolding for you. Fool showing up again here. Traveling cards coming through in this reading for you. You know, it's about the journey that we're taking in our minds as much as any other aspect of our life. Nine of Swords. Like I said, I think there is going to be this coexisting of emotions this month, you know. There may be anxiety, there may be some stress, but there's also excitement and optimism. You have to keep this in balance with yourself, okay? Beautiful healing coming in for those of you that are grieving the loss of someone or something, or even a part of yourself, you know. This Knight of Swords seems to be quite prevalent in your reading for December. Maybe it is somebody from the past that we are connecting to, or really setting your vision out though. I think there's some exciting new possibilities that want to show up for you through this month. This King of Cups coming up again. Okay, and finally Pisces, I'm also just doing a bit of a preview card for 2021. Again, we're just going to cover that off in the extended reading, but just to give you a little bit of insight as to what we pick up for what sort of energies you're going to be working with in 2021. This guide, linking into the offering that I'm doing on the Guide and the Gift series, you can find more details about that on my website, The Soul Journey, Divine Love and Path to Purpose. Okay, so I look forward to continuing this conversation if you're joining me. Otherwise, I wish you beautiful, bright blessings for December. Remember, Pisces, you will be your own miracle this month. Take good care. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.